Good morning and welcome to our 9th rehearsal of Dacorum Community Choir at home. Lovely to have you with us. Please do stand. Let's stretch tall and let's vocalise a yawn as our arms come down. Be really adventurous with the pitch that you choose and uncurl, stretch taller than you did first time, and bring your arms down slowly. Just have a little shake out and really relaxed and balanced on both of your feet. Very gently warming ourselves up, singing up the interval of a fifth to Z, za, Z. Really gentle and effortless. 1 and 2. Z, za, Z. Up the semitone. Z, za, Z. Relaxed and open. Z, za, Z. Z, za, Z. Straight away, in an effort to unlock those higher notes with minimal stress and strain, can you do this sort of gesture when you get to the top note? So, si, za, si. Just throw that sound from the key we've reached. E flat major, 1 and 2. Si, za, si. Without actions. Let's now do 2 pitches in one breath. 1 and 2 and. Carry through, don't breathe, keep going. Now there's the breath. One of the joys of preparing for our rehearsals week by week is that I'm sort of discovering some rounds and some songs which I didn't know up till now, and it's always lovely discovering a new piece of music. It's rather like reading a new book. You suddenly sort of feel a bit invigorated. And I have found this week a beautiful little round by Beethoven. Were we not all sitting in our homes, as we are at the moment, there would be lots of celebrations of the 250th anniversary of Beethoven's birth. And this is a beautiful little round. Of course, these are not Beethoven's original words, but the sentiment is wonderful and works brilliantly. The text is, laugh and be glad, though time's flying. Banish all sorrow and welcome tomorrow. Here is the round all the way through. Laugh and be glad though time's flying. Banish all sorrow and welcome tomorrow. That's the whole phrase through. My turn and then your turn. Laugh and be glad. Laugh and be glad. Laugh and be glad, though times fly. Your turn. Laugh and be glad, though times fly. Flying, flying. Let's now sing the flying detached. Flying, with the energy here. Flying again. Flying. Now let's sing it legato, smooth, linked. Flying. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Flying. But with that same level of engagement there. Let's join all of that together. Laugh and be glad though time's flying. 1, 2, 3. Laugh and be glad though time's flying. Good. I just pushed a little bit sharp, but we've just reset our key. And banish all sorrow. And 1, 2. Banish all sorrow. My turn. And welcome tomorrow. Your turn. And welcome tomorrow. From banish all sorrow, my turn. Banish all sorrow and welcome tomorrow. And 1. Banish all sorrow and welcome tomorrow. When you sing the banish, it starts on beat 3, ties over into beat 1 and then moves off again. If I put some harmonies into it, we could make it quite expressive. Banish all sorrow. Something like that. But just so you understand, there's a subtlety of rhythm there which might just unsettle you whilst we are singing without accompaniment. Here we go. My turn, your turn. Laugh and be glad though time's flying. 1, 2. Laugh and be glad though time's flying. Banish all sorrow. Your turn. 1, 2. Banish all sorrow. My turn. And welcome tomorrow. And 1, 2. And welcome tomorrow. Let's put the whole thing through. My turn, your turn. Laugh and be glad though time's flying. Banish all sorrow and welcome tomorrow. Here we go, beginning. 1, 2. Laugh and be glad though time's flying. Banish all sorrow and welcome tomorrow. Wonderful. Now, one of the reasons I've chosen this round, in addition to the fact it's by Beethoven, is the fact that it works beautifully just as a 2-part round. And in this scenario, it will therefore be complete if I start singing and then you sing after me. Let's sing it a cappella now, unaccompanied together. Laugh and be 1, 2. Laugh and be glad though time's flying. Banish all sorrow and welcome tomorrow. Now, it's in 3, but I want you to feel as if it's in 1. So 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, with 2 and 3 being nice and light and sort of elevated. So as such, this time while we sing, I'm going to have however many of you are singing at the same time now, all conducting at the same time. Let's hope too many conductors don't spoil the broth. And all I want you to do is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 while singing. Here we go. Laugh and be glad though time's flying. Banish all sorrow and welcome tomorrow. One of the things I find very disconcerting about preparing these rehearsals now is that what I see on my screen when we're recording is not a second behind, probably only a millisecond behind, but it's just slightly unsettling. And it reminds me once of when I gave an organ recital, and quite often with organ recitals there'll be a camera videoing our hands and feet for the audience to see, and actually can sort of enhance the understanding of what we as organists are doing. But unfortunately, out of the corner of my eye, whilst I was playing, I could see the screen on which this was being relayed, and there was a delay of about 1.5 seconds or so between what I was seeing there and what I was actually doing here. And it was one of the most sort of unpleasant performing circumstances you can possibly imagine. And I wished I'd had some sort of way of shutting that out of my vision. Anyway, not quite as bad what we're doing here. Let's do that one more time. Laugh and be glad. And 1, 2. Laugh and be glad though times fly. Banish all sorrow and welcome tomorrow. Now I desperately hope that you are now secure with that. I will now start when I get to the third bar of the music. Laugh and be sad though times. You will then start. Laugh and be sad though times. Laugh and... Alright, now you might find that actually, although you're feeling confident, when it comes to doing it as a round, you don't make it. In which case, just rewind the recording until you are that little bit more secure. I start, you come in at bar 3. And we'll sing it twice through in entirety. Banish all sorrow, laugh. That's how it goes back. Laugh and be glad though times fly. Banish all sorrow and welcome tomorrow. Laugh and be glad though times fly. Banish all sorrow and welcome tomorrow. And welcome tomorrow. Fabulous. Now we're going to move on to our songs for today, some of which are familiar to us as a choir, some of them are new. We're going to start with one which we have done as a choir. It's a little arrangement of This Little Light of Mine, and fortunately this is very much in the psyche of most people, so I hope that we'll be able to go in pretty quickly. As with much music like this, it does have lots of different versions. I'll sing you a line, you sing it back. We've done this one before, but a nice energetic start. This little light of mine. Your turn. My turn. I'm gonna let it shine. Your turn. My turn. And this is where you just need to be a bit careful, because it goes, this little light of mine. So not da ba da da da, or but it's dum be da da da. It's a bit more triadic. This little light of mine. Your turn. And then it stays on the same note. I'm gonna let it shine. Your turn. Then it's just like the first phrase again. Off, 2, 3, 4. This little light of mine. Keep going. I'm gonna let it shine. And then the let it shine at the end. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Your turn. And 1, 2. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. And then we go back to the beginning with verse 2. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere. We can do it straight off. And 1, 2, 3. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And then we're going to go back to the beginning for our first text, but with a change of key. So we go from our F major key, F major, then we have that chord, takes us up a tone to this little light of mine. And then we sing it exactly the same way again, albeit with that extra energy which the higher key gives us. And at the end, we sing our last phrase twice. Let it shine, 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 let it shine. And then what we're going to do is to then sing a sort of Three Blind Mice, coming down to let it shine, shine, shine. So let's do our ending, the last phrase twice, and then the long sustained notes. I'll show you what I mean. Let's sing it together though. And 1. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, shine, shine. And we'll hold that last note and have a fairly sort of epic ending. Okay, here's a little introduction. This is an arrangement by Steve Milloy, fabulous contemporary jazz musician. Lovely little arrangement, some great harmonies. Whenever I sort of teach this song, of course it has its sort of gospel spiritual background, but I always just try and get across to whoever I'm working on with this song that it's just about sharing something that's very special to you, regardless of what that is, and letting the world know about it. Now, some weeks ago we made a start on a beautiful song called Little One, which I want to just revisit with you now. It's got a lovely gentle feel by it. It's Steve Milloy, the arranger of that last one, is also behind this one as well. And we did some work on the opening, and we'll do a little bit of work on what follows that. So this is the middle section of Little One. The text: can't you see there's a land of flights and fantasy, dreaming of the one someday you'll be. So my turn, your turn. It goes like this. I'll sing it through once, and then we'll break it down. Can't you see there's a land of flights and fantasy, dreaming of the one someday of syncopated gospel-y feel rhythm. My turn, your turn, and one. Can't you see? Your turn, one. Can't you see? My turn. There's a land of flights and fantasy. There's a land of flights and fantasy. When you sing the C of fantasy, that's going to be a really long note, and the energy of that can then just dissipate as you get this lovely exotic chord underneath it, very moon-like. So I've joined that together. Can't you see there's a land of flights and fantasy? Try that, and one. Can't you see there's a land of flight and fantasy? And then dreaming of the one someday you'll be. And one. Dreaming of the one someday. Let's now go to the beginning of the song, which we did a few weeks ago, and it goes like this. Little one, your turn. My turn. Little one, close your sleepy eyes. Your turn, and a 1. Little one, close your sleepy eyes. Don't you realize that I am here? The second phrase uses the same notes as the first phrase, but just compresses them after starting late. So the first phrase, little one. Second phrase, 1, 2, little one. So very similar, but with that change of rhythm. Let's sing that first phrase together. 1, 2, 3. Little one, little one, close your sleepy eyes. Don't you realize that I am here? Next phrase, very similar to the opening, at least in terms of its melodic shapes, subtle different rhythms. Work is done. Your turn. My turn. You've had time for fun and won. You've had time for fun. My turn. Now it's time for rest. Your turn. My turn. You've done your best. Your turn. My turn. So drift away. Your turn. That opens out into the bit we started with. Can't you see? Now, the second time through the song, where the text previously was dreaming of the one someday you'll be, the text has now changed to dreams can help you find your way back home. Dreams can help you find your way back home. I think I slightly reinvented Charles Beale's and Steve Milloy's rhythms there. It should be dreams can help you find your way back home. And a 1, 2. Dreams can help you find your way back home. Alright, and then that phrase, the back home, we're just going to repeat ad lib. Until I look at you in a very encouraging way just to sing a long note and get more and more gentle as that goes through. So, Little One by Charles Beale and Steve Milloy. And as with all of these songs, I'm teaching them to you in quite a straight way, rhythmically. Popular song, you can interpret these as you will, but just really try and get that spirit of the songs across in what you do. And of course this is that very loving lullaby. Little one, close your sleepy eyes. Don't you realize that I am here? Work is done. You've had time for fun. Now it's time for rest. You've done your best, so drift away. Can't you see? There's a land of flights and fantasy, dreaming of the one someday you'll be. Little one, close your sleepy eyes. Don't you realize that I am here? Work is done. You've had time for fun. Now it's time for rest. You've done your best, so drift away. Can't you see? There's a land of flight and fantasy. Dreams can help you find your way back home. Back home. Back home. Back home. Keep looping. Back home. La 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 la. 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 Back home. La 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 la. Back home. La 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 la. Back home. And it's a lovely ending. It just sort of meanders to its wonderful and gentle end there. And we can overlap those parts. So I hope I didn't put you off by adding some of that in. Now we're going to close today with a new number. Quite well known through a Frank Sinatra version of the song called Learning the Blues. We're going to do some quite quick learning of this. I'll sing you a phrase, you sing it back. It's got quite a sort of solid beat to the music that's kind of in the instruction, but within that sort of swing feel that Frank does so well. What I'd also say, again, I'm teaching you the sort of skeleton of the melody. Please feel free to unleash your inner Ella or your inner Frank, if you like, when you're singing your rhythms and be a bit more free. Here's the melody though. The tables are empty, the dance floor's deserted. Your turn. My turn. You play the same love song, it's the 10th time you've heard it. Your turn. You play the same love song, it's the 10th time you've heard it. My turn. That's the beginning, just one of the clues. Your turn. That's the beginning, just one of the clues. My turn. You've had your first lesson in learning the blues. Your turn. In learning the blues. Okay, definitely a song from the 50s. The reference to the fags. The cigarettes you light. We know this melody now. The cigarettes you light together. And one. The cigarettes you light, one after another, won't help you forget her. turn, your turn. When you're at home alone, the blues will taunt you constantly. Your turn. When you're at home alone, the blues will taunt you constantly. My turn. When you're out in a crowd, the blues will haunt your memory. Your turn. When you're out in a crowd, the blues will haunt your memory. And then we get back to our opening melody again. The night when you don't sleep, the whole night you're crying. Back together, the nights you don't sleep, when you don't sleep. And one. The nights when you don't sleep, the whole night you're crying. Keep going. But you can't forget her. Soon you even stop trying. You'll walk the floor and wear out your shoes. When you feel your heart break, you're learning the blues. Okay, and then that whole song whizzes through for that second time once again. So reference in the song, of course, to being solitary, and I hope very much that this week, with another little unlocking of rules, that some of you who have been living on your own for quite some time might actually have that chance to be more sociable with others, and that brings some joy to your lives. Must have been very, very hard indeed for those of you that has been the case. So here we go, we're learning the blues. You're pretending to be Ella or Frank. Here's a little intro. We sing it twice through, and there's a little outro at the end as well. The tables are empty, the dance is deserted. You play the same love song. It's the 10th time you've heard it. That's the beginning, just one of the clues. You've had your first lesson in learning the blues. The cigarettes you light, one after another, won't help you forget her and the way that you love her. You're only burning a load you can't lose, but you're on the right track for learning the blues. When you're at home alone, the blues will taunt you constantly. You're out in a crowd, the blues will haunt your memory. The nights when you don't sleep, the whole night you're crying, but you can't forget her. Soon you even stop trying. You walk the floor and wear out your shoes. When you feel your heart break, you're learning the blues. The tables are empty on your own. thank you for joining us once again. I hope you have a lovely week, and I look forward to singing with you again next week. Bye bye.